Okay, so folks, right now it's July, summer of 2022, and we've heard all about inflation for the last 6, 7 months. We know that we're at a 40-year high right now. We know that interest rates are going up every time the Fed gets together. We know that, the 30-year interest rate's approaching 6%, probably the first time since 2008. And today what we're going to discuss is how to thrive, how to stay alive and excel during a recession and think like a millionaire. And really what's important is mindset matters. Mindset matters over everything else when it comes to money. And then when it comes to your relationship with money, and money has a charge, and we become more of who we are based on how much money we have. In other words, if you're a really nice giver and all of a sudden you have a whole lot more money than you ever had before, you're probably going to be even a nicer giver than you were before. Same thing if you weren't nice. You would probably be even more not nice, if that makes any sense. So let me just tell you a quick story here. We go back to 2008, the Great Recession, it eventually became, but that was a time when we were 2 or 3 days away from not having money in the ATM machine. And we know that all the great thinkers around America got together. They created a plan. They printed money, about $2 trillion. And what was happening then, think of a highway. All of a sudden, a meteor came and hit that highway, and everything came to a standstill. And in order to keep the economy going, they had to print a lot of money. And when they printed that money, I'm talking about the Fed, what happened was they kept interest rates super low. And this was right after the real estate crash. But they kept rates super low, so that with all this printed money, and now back then, if you were going to buy real estate, you had to come up with 20% down. The banks were more scrutinous. And there was no place but to put your money into the stock market, which, by the way, you saw the stock market from 2008, and I'm speaking in general terms, all the way to 2022 go from basically 6,400 up to 36,000. Just talking about the Dow right now. And as a result of low interest rate and keeping the rates low, we really experienced only one recession, and that recession was in 2008. The next one that came was during COVID, which was basically February, March, and April, but it really wasn't a recession. The world shut down, as we know. Real estate began to take off. Used cars began to take off. Interest rates stayed low. The government printed a whole bunch of trillions of dollars. But now, here's the truth. We're in July, as I mentioned. You have 3 key dates, but we already know the answer. We know that on July 13th, we're going to find out about the inflation report. There's no surprise there. We're at a 40-year low. We know that on July 26th, we're going to find out about, what does it look like with interest rates? I know in June, we thought they were going to raise them 50. They came in and raised them 75 basis points. And that's because inflation was running faster than they thought, right? So what do? You raise interest rates to slow down inflation. But behind all that is a stealth bomber. It's coming out July 28th. You already know it. A recession is 2 quarters of negative GDP. It's already happened. You're not going to get the full details until July 28th. So why am I mentioning all this? Am I saying it so you can feel bad for yourself while you're looking at your 401k statement every month or probably checking online every day, not really understanding why it's going down? Or if you look in your Bitcoin account because, there was a guy, that goes to islands and he tells you how to trade Bitcoin. And now all of a sudden you might not see the same flavor of that trading exercise, or you gave somebody that wasn't a professional all of your money because you were looking for that overnight financial success, which, by the way, doesn't exist. And if your mind isn't sober and you're trading your money with a unsober mindset, then what's going to happen is right about now, you're not feeling really good about yourself, but you could change the trajectory and you could change the story. And that means you have to change yourself from within, and you can't do it by yourself. Because everything that's happening in your life right now, good, bad, or indifferent, is a result of your thinking over the last 1, 2, 5, and 10 years, maybe even 20 years. So if the thinking has put you in a position where you constantly run against the wall over and over again, looking for a different result, it's time to get educated and do things that make you feel really uncomfortable. Because the level of uncomfortability you feel, to that degree, will be the growth that you experience on the other side, whether it's going on a diet, whether it's going to the gym, or whether it's spending less money and saving it and not just go buying something because you want to feel better about yourself, because you're in a society right now that is bombarded with information every single day to the tune of 5,000 different advertisements hit you on a daily basis, whether it's a friend, whether it's a fro, whether it's the internet, whether it's a commercial, whether you're driving, whether you're listening to something, you're getting hit with so much an advertisement that there's more money going out of your pocket than coming into your pocket. So what do? Okay, the first thing you want to be able to do is sit down, take a full analysis of exactly what your cash flow is, money in versus money out. And by the way, if you can't do it because you're in denial, then go ahead, click the link below. One of the team members here will sit down with you, spend some time with you, no obligation, and be able to show you what a financial freedom map actually looks like. Spend time with us and we'll be able to show that to you. But in the meantime, if you're like, no, Rob, I got this, I don't need your help, more power to you. You want to sit down and look at your cash inflow versus cash outflow. Then you want to look at, okay, how much money am I putting into my 401k? Am I going up to or past the match? Then when you're doing that, you want to make sure that you're calling the people that run the 401k. Good luck there. They're not going to answer the phone right away. You're going to be on hold a lot. They're going to tell you to hit, press 1 for this, press 2 for that, press 3 for this. You could go online, check certain things out. You might not get all the information. But with that being said, you actually want to find out what the fees are, right? And then you want to be like my man Barry Dyke, because Barry Dyke, by the way, he told the whole story on the Pirates of Manhattan, let everybody know what time it was back in 2007, where the institutions were buying cash value life insurance, but they were telling the retail folks like me and you to buy other products. So once he blew that whistle, 2008 came on the scene, and this was 18 years after Chubb Rock, which was 1990. And at that point, you saw that massive market pullback. With that being said, though, let me go back because I digress. And now you want to look at, okay, what are the fees you're being charged? We know in a 401k, if you're being charged 1% versus 2%, 2% versus 3%, every percentage point difference up is 10 years less of retirement income. Take that and rewind it back. Every difference of a percentage point up is a difference of 10 years of income and retirement that you don't have. So in other words, if you're paying 3% versus 1%, you're losing 20 years of income. 2% versus 1%, you're losing 10 years of income. So now as you're analyzing the 401k, the next thing is, okay, do I prepay my mortgage? If I do I do it yearly? Do I do it quarterly? Do I do it monthly? Find out what that number is and put that to the side. Just like past the match, put that to the side. The next thing you want to do is take a look at your homeowners and your auto insurance. How much are you paying for that? Is the deductible $500 or is it $2,000? I know if you raise it up to $2,000, you might save a little bit of money, see what that looks like, and put that over to the side. Are you putting money into a stock account, after-tax stock account? Are you putting money into an IRA or Roth IRA or Roth 401k besides your traditional? See what that looks like. How much are you just generally saving on a monthly basis? See what that looks like, and then do the things that are painful. How much are you spending on food every month? Where is it being spent, and how much of it is in restaurants? How much are you spending on food every month? Where is it being spent, and how much is it in restaurants? Right? Because you're in a recession right now. Your gas of $5 every gallon now on a monthly basis versus 9 months ago is a difference of about $300 to $500 a month. And I'm not even talking about the amount of money you spend on food. But your gas money alone is increasing or decreasing your cash flow. Take a look at that. Take a look at your credit card, then the interest on your credit cards, and see what that looks like. See what you're putting on the credit. Listen, I was looking at my credit card the other day, and I'm embarrassed to share this, but I will. In the month of June, my kids put $500 on there for video games. Yeah, $500. So, by the way, once I paid attention to it, we put an end to it, but that's a real thing. Whether it was Xbox or this box or that box, there was a lot of money just being spent because we live in a society that tells us all it's okay to charge. So once you have those details, and once you take a look at cash flow in, cash flow out, you then want to make sure you understand the tax bracket. Now, you can't do this on your own. You got to get with your accountant, and you got to make sure your accountant's with your fiduciary, and your fiduciary is with your trust officer, as well as your insurance agent. And if you're looking at all this stuff, and if everybody's on the same page and it's monitored and measured, by the way, if you want to be able to learn how to do that or get the players in place that could do that, once again, go ahead and click that link below because we have that. And also, if you want to learn about our financial freedom map, which is a 12-minute video course on what to do, how to do, doesn't cost you any money, it's for free. It's on a link below as well. But with that being said, are all your professionals together on the same page for the benefit of your thinking? Because remember, they don't pay you, you pay them. and you want to know exactly what you're paying them, right? And in the middle of all this, you want to say, okay, for the person now, I'm going to talk to this person. If you are financially responsible, let me give you a major shout out. I know me right now. Let me tell you something. I want you to think of a guy with fish tank heels and a fedora. I am high stepping through this recession. I've never been more confident in my life. This recession right now, because we've done proper planning and prepared well. I said this on Chris Krohn's stage. Everybody on here that owns cash value life insurance, you're feeling really good about yourself. Right now, I'm looking for businesses to buy. I'm looking to deploy money into situations where, hey, listen, they may have a big email list or they may have certain infrastructures that are really good, but they don't know how to close a door. They don't know how to open a door. But you know what? If we could come in, I'm just giving people ideas right now. If we could come in and be able to show how to increase your sales through training your sales organization, well, now all of a sudden, you as an entrepreneur in a recession can have a conversation about consult for equity. That's a real thing that's happening right now, okay? So for the folks out there that are thriving and are going to really thrive, we know that whenever there's economic winter turmoil, new companies are invented, whether it's Airbnb, and that happened after 2008, other companies along the way that have really been able to thrive when we're forced to transcend through certain external forces that we can't control. But here's what I'm telling the folks that are nervous right now. Here's what I'm telling the folks that are living in a scarcity mindset. That will perpetuate unless you make that change. And that change starts with you making that first call, or you doing the first reach out, or you clicking the link below to sit down with one of the members here at Epic, no obligation, that'll take you through a success process that sits and fits with your economic philosophy, your core values, and puts you on a path that helps you make better decisions where through in and throughout there's liquidity all over the place, because the person that's more liquid, the person that's more stable, that's the person that's going to be able to clearly and soberly think about business opportunities that are coming. And it's almost not fair. But the truth is, if you have modalities, if you have systems and processes in place, that's what happens. And especially if you're not desperate. Don't be sitting on cash right now looking to find the place to put it just to find the place to put it. You got to make sure you do your homework. You got to I dot and T cross. You got to bring in your power team to help you make these decisions, and surround yourself, not with vultures. Surround yourself with people that can help uplift you and take you through a success process. Let me talk to the Bitcoin specialists out there. You got the people out there that have been buying Bitcoin and then selling programs on how to buy Bitcoin and putting all their money into Bitcoin. Well, guess what? Right now they're broke, right? I guarantee if you bought Bitcoin 6 months ago, you're saying to yourself, I wish I would have bought it today. And who knows, 6 months from now, you might be saying, I wish I waited 6 months. The point is, make it part of the overall mosaic, not something that's going to change your life. Same thing with real estate. Listen, you folks out there that are buying rental real estate, let's make sure you're not buying it because you think you're going to be able to sell it a year from now. Make sure you're buying it because of 4 reasons: cash flow, depreciation, appreciation over the long term, and as well as mortgage interest write-off, because there you're getting 4 spins off the same dollar. In that mindset, and with that in what you're trying to accomplish over the long term, you would be amazed that over 10 years, you could do much more than you ever anticipated. And over 1 year, probably less than you thought you were going to do. And the truth is, if you understand how to turn decades into days, that means you got to stand on the shoulders of people that have been there and done that. Remember, we talk about matching and mirroring +1. If someone's nasty, be a little bit nastier. If someone's nice, be a little bit nicer. If someone is stern, be a little bit more stern. If someone is gracious, be a little bit more gracious. Match and mirror +1, confront with love, create opportunities. And at the end of the day, I want to thank you for checking us out, listening to us. Go ahead, last time, click the link below. We want to spend some time with you. We want to be able to at least hear what you have to say. And by the way, if there's other videos you want us to do in the messaging below, tell us other videos. If you have any questions, ask us questions. And at the end of the day, I can't thank you enough for tuning in. Have a great day.